In this video, we're going to play some more Pit Old School, and I'm going to be showcasing the strategy that always wins in this arena. Without further ado, let's get right into it. So here's Henny 1420, and the strategy that I'm going to be using, definitely good with Hunan by the way, is Tack, Mortar, Cobra. On literally every map you can use this and be fine, honestly. Like, there's no actual map that I can think of where the strategy is bad in the slightest. I guess, however, if you wanted to go late game on this map, you could bring something like NG from Spy Factory, but I don't really like Super Monkey Lane because attack spots and motor spots not that good, so I'm just going to be skipping, and Swamp is definitely a way better map for this strategy. And yeah, the reason why you want to bring Tack over, like, for example, a Bomb Shooter, and why you want to bring Mortar and Cobra so much is simply because it's way too OP. It just is way too OP, man. Like, the thing about Old School is that you don't get boosts or anything of that sort, and as a result, your only option really, also he's going Tack Eco, so I'm gonna have to offensive push something at him rather than just. But yeah, I'm just gonna start off with Mota here and start ecoing a little bit. But yeah, the reason why you want to break Tack or like a Bomb Shooter is because Old Schools, you don't get any powers whatsoever, and having the Blade Maelstrom ability is like your main line of mid-game defense really helps, like, countering all outs and stuff. So that's why it's important that you bring the Tack Shooter instead of like something else, for example, right? So he has Tack Farm, actually. It could be Tack Farm Mortar, come to think of it. But yeah, I guess I'm going to be selling my Tack Shooter since he's not going to be ecoing at me whatsoever. And I'm just going to be ecoing on and trying to anti-stall and like drain while going for some Cobra farms of my own. Pretty much the whole plan here, I think. Anyways, it's pretty safe to say that he's going to be spamming space eco at me the whole game. So it's probably a safer play if I just go for my Tack Shooter back. I know I just sold it only to go for it back, but it's okay. It's not the end of the world. Although probably not optimal, but you know what, it made him send more, so it's worth it. Anyways, he's sending blacks now. I'm just trying to clutch up on some of these lives using my Mortar, but yeah, of course we're going to end up going for the Blade Shooter right here. There we go, and I'm just going to be clutching up on everything that's going through the end of the track here using my Mortar. And there we go, everything's cleaned up. We can now target back to the beginning and keep ecoing. Ideally, I would want something like 420 eco-ish, but the problem is that we don't have like boosts or spikes or anything of that sort, so getting up this much eco under constant max anti-stall is actually pretty difficult, more difficult than you'd think. It's okay though, we can definitely make something work. So here I just want to like save up money and then try to rush with yellows to drain the farms, because he's going to be farming a lot, and I really don't want that to happen. So I'm just going to be spamming some blacks here to like kind of mix up the eco, and then I'm going to be sending a whole lot of yellows starting on around 9, so pretty much now, right? And yeah, I'm just going to be sending until the end of time, and there we go, that forced the Mortar up. That's pretty good. That denies the farming on round 9, which is really all I'm looking for, and at this point I'm very happy with the way things went, so I'm just going to go for some Cobras and stop the eco right there. And how you win against Tack Farm Mortar is simply by adjusting and draining the strategy, and then probably going late if he does end up defending, because a defending adjustment is just like, it just drains so hard that it's just like near impossible to defend while keeping good farms. Of course you would want to go for the BIA ideally, but I don't think that's an option for him in any case, right? So he's probably going to be sending some camo stuff. Yeah, he sent camo Les, trying to force a signal flare up. That's fair. Here I'm just trying to like catch his camo green. There we go, and then I'm going to catch the camo LEDs, and there we go, that's perfect. Of course we do leak a tiny bit, it's okay though. And yeah, next I just want to send like probably some zebra kind of rush on round 14, something like that. And yeah, I guess hope to like get to like deny the BIA, because really that's all I'm looking for. I'm just trying to force some defense and deny the BIA altogether, because if he does get up the BIA, he's going to be in like a very, very good position, and he's not going to be drainable by adjustment nearly as efficiently, right? So that's what I'm looking for here. I'm just trying to deny the BIA completely up until like minimum round 17, right? That's all I'm trying to achieve, and yeah, he's trying to clutch up here. I'm just gonna take the opportunity to rush back and send a whole lot of Bloons, and this should deny the BIA up until minimum round 17, which is really, really good. I think all this ran through, and he has to Maelstrom even, so that's really, really good for me. And now at this point, he's very, very drained, and he cannot go for the BIA at all, so he's forced to bank, which is going to be actually pretty easy to drain rather, so it's actually really nice to see. I'm just going to go for like 3 more Cobras, and then I'm going to try to go for round 19 adjustment rather than round 18 adjustment, because he's already preparing himself to like defend all the adjustment on round 18, and I'm not going to be able to get much of them, so that's why like I'm just waiting until round 19 rather to start adjusting, because I'm going to have more Cobra farmers making me more money, and those are going to turn into adjustments, and it's going to be overall a more efficient rush later, where right now we wouldn't force much. So here I'm just going to send some spaced leads to try to like get through his defense a little bit, like make him struggle a little bit by not being able to pop until the mortar shoots. So that's what I'm trying to achieve here. For now though, he seems to be okay, but it's not going to last too long. He does have a bank up, which is problematic because it's generating an eco over time, and now he has a ring of fire and 2 signal flares, but it's not all that bad, I think. If he sends us a BFB, that's a pretty stupid play, and yeah, he has to Maelstrom actually, because that one ceramic went through. Is he going to be fine to it? He's leaking to it. There are a lot of ceramics from the AI here, and he's probably going to need to Maelstrom a second time, which he's trying to do. Is he good? No, we actually take the win. Nice. He died to the adjustment because he was too drained to defend it properly. So yeah, GG's to Henny for 1420, and let's move on to the next game now. So here's Joe Smudge now, our second opponent. We get Baggage Claim. On Baggage Claim, he skips it. Alright. Well, I would have probably fought Dartling Farm Boomer or something of that sort, but we get Frozen River instead, which is a really good attack mortar Cobra map, so we're most definitely going to be going for that. And I think, okay, he's just going to be skipping again. Alright. You get Interchange, which is a perfect attack mortar Cobra map, so we're definitely going to be reading up on that. Although, this is one of those maps where attack farm mortar has a chance to greed a whole lot, because they're only going to need a single blade shooter for yellows in round 8. So he's going to be able to greed a lot, which is rather worrisome, but you know what, we'll try to make it work. As it turns out, he has Whiz, and attack farm mortar is really the only thing that like has a chance to even try to defend us, but Cobra still should win like pretty much every single game. Unless the opponent is like really, really good, but that never ever happens, not in Moa Pit at least. I doubt anyone is like good enough to know how to play perfect attack from mortar, which should theoretically counter Cobra, but you know, it never happens. This strategy has never failed me a single time. The only thing I've lost to in this arena is this strategy itself, and I think that should say a lot. So he has Whiz here. And definitely not the smartest thing you can run in this arena. I would recommend just going attack mortar Cobra yourself, or going attack farm mortar. Either one is fine. Attack farm mortar is the more passive option that can go more late game, but then it loses to more strategies to the more passive ones, so that's why I just don't prefer it. Overall, Cobra, in my opinion, is the smarter choice. And here he did get up his wizard. I went for a third Cobra farm because I sent more pinks instead of like full eco, instead of going full eco route. And yeah, of course you do want to anti-stall since you're going the Cobra strategy. It's entirely based on draining your opponent. In game, of course. Anyways, it's entirely based on draining your opponent, and because of that, you do want to make the rounds as short as possible, so you two get the least money that you can, because you know money from eco stacks up over time, and preventing that money from being like obtained in the earlier rounds is what helps like draining your opponent. So yeah, the early farms are always what matters most. If you get low early farms, then you're going to be in the drain situation, and that's definitely what you're looking for as the Cobra player. You want low Cobra farms for yourself and low farms for your opponent at the same time. if you have low Cobra farms but they have high farms, you're not going to be in a good position. But luckily, that's not what's happening here. And here I'm just sending infinite blacks to try to make him leak a little bit to them. And yeah, I'm going to go for this last Cobra farm here up until round 8, where I'm just going to switch those blacks up to region whites. And region whites are definitely going to do a lot of damage if he doesn't react to them, because they're really, really efficient against Wiz loadouts. He's going to be forced to get up a second lightning. I think that he's going to be able to get one up on around 42 seconds. And he doesn't, so I'm just going to be sending more until he's finally able to get it up, which is not yet. He went for the farm instead. He's greeding, alright. He goes for another wizard. He just wants to greed the region whites out, it looks like, which is not a smart option. You definitely don't want to leak this low with a wiz strategy, because here I'm just going to be saving up for the later rounds. He's sending a bunch of yellows, which is pretty stupid to do in my opinion. You should not be sending this many yellows if you're like trying to outlast your opponent. So I mean, that's not the smartest move by him, but it's totally fine for me. He forced the Bernie stuff, which I'm gonna have to get up anyways to anti-star round 12, so I'm completely fine with this outcome. And here I'm just gonna go for this signal flare, leave this be, and then I'm gonna go for round 13 rush, among which I'm probably gonna try to sneak a quick region rainbow. There we go. Gonna do this, go for the bigger blast. He went for 3 lightnings, which drains him a whole lot, and those regions look like they're going to push. He had to sell all of his farms, and he barely holds on and defends, which has drained him a whole lot in terms of money. Since now he has a Dragon's Breath and Lightning, we have 500 eco and a bunch of Cobra farms, where he only has 1.5 plantations, which is a super, super low money situation from him. He's like mega drained right now. He could not be more drained than this, honestly, like realistically speaking, because he farmed pretty decently. But at the cost of his entire life count, he had to be really careful in the mid-game defense, and that caused him to just like lose all his money later on. So yeah, you definitely didn't want to leak all the lives that he did as the Wiz player if you were playing on his side. But of course you should just not be playing Wiz in general. Here I'm just going to be saving up. Of course he's going to try to sneak in some zebras. That's okay, I'm just going to maelstrom them. There we go. And I'm going to go for another Cobra farm back. Because yeah, round 16 AI is carry, and I definitely don't want to mess with that whatsoever. So here I'm just going to go for the mortar, like place it down here because it defends AI slightly better. It's just that my spot is better against the send path and for anti-stall purposes, so that's why I run it. Okay, some camo yellows actually went for, it's fine. It's just a few lives, so it's not that big of a deal. He sent some camo pings for some reason, but we move. He keeps sending camo pings for whatever reason. I'm just confused at this point, honestly. But yeah, I'm going to go for a tag shooter here in case he sends stuff. And I'm just going to be sending a few group leads above like all of those ceramics from the AI. And it's going to drain him a whole lot because he's going to have to get up so much defense. His eco is rather low. And yeah, I'm just like in a super, super good position right now because he's completely drained. And that's exactly what I want is the Cobra player. Coming up next on my screen is probably going to be a BFB, considering how much he's been saving up. So I definitely want to be very careful with that. And the best way to defend a BFB with Cobra is obviously to use the Cobra's ability, the misdirection. So we're just going to be getting up exactly that as soon as round 20 starts. He's probably going to send one like right off the bat. So I'm just going to be doing this. There we go. And hopefully he sent me a BFB. If he did, I'm in the best position ever. If he didn't, that's still okay. I'm still in a pretty good position, so it's not that big of a deal. I'm just going to go for this and try to like defend the AI because yeah, the AI is being scary and he has not sent me a VFB, it looks like. So, I mean, I guess that means that, yeah, all of his money is going into the defense, alright. Well, he's just going to die around 25 at the latest, so it's okay. He has no realistic way of defending around 25 adjustment. So here I'm just going to like keep my misdirection up because either way it's his only realistic chance to like beat me. If he does try to all out run 22 or something, we have the mortar stall. That's always something to keep in mind. We have the mortar stall and we can just counter while mortar stalling after misdirecting one of those BFBs, which is going to move over to his screen, and then he has to defend that plus maybe some mobs on top if he wants to try. so that's why it's not a good option for him. Anyways, I'm just sending a lot of eco here because I'm looking to get some eco myself, since I'm gonna need that for the later rounds. And here I do want to get more like blade shooters because it's round 22 and round 22 AI is rather scary, but this much should be fine. Yep. Alright, we're good, cool. So here I definitely just want to save up for round 25 adjustment. There we go, 650 eco is pretty good. And yeah, I'm of course never going to sell at misdirection because his only realistic chance to like slow down my adjustment around 25 and maybe try to win is by like trying to send a BFB and getting me to choke and stuff. But that's simply not going to happen. And if he does try to do some like cheeky BFB plus Bloons underneath round 24 AI, I'm just going to Maelstrom and misdirect. And those two abilities will allow me to defend flawlessly. And there's finally BFBs on my screen. So I'm just going to be misdirecting one. And then going to set all of my Cobras to first. And yeah, he's just all outing here because he knows all hope is lost at this point if he dares to do anything to me. So I'm just going to be mortar stalling, misdirecting, mortar stalling again. And I can low-key defend this, which is kind of crazy to think about. And there we go, that defense. Alright. And here I'm just going to do this, going to mortar stall the AI. I know it's rather over-defending, but you gotta play safe in those situations. And we take the win after defending his all out, which was really good to see. So GG's to Joe Smudge, good game, and let's move on to the next one. Now here's I choke 90%. So this dude probably chokes 90% of his games. Sad. On Concrete Alley, is this a good tech Mortar Cobra map? Definitely. Is this a good tech sub Cobra map? Definitely as well. But Mortar is always meta in this arena simply because of the star. We got In Ruins, which is once again very good tech Mortar Cobra map. I guess you could maybe try going something like Tag Village Ninja, but I don't think it would work. I think you would just get drained on this kind of map. And yeah, Tag Mortar Cobra for sure the meta in literally every situation, because you just like kill every single possible strat that doesn't like directly counter you on some very specific maps, and because of that it's gonna overall win you the most games most often. And yeah, this is finally the first Cobra Mare, someone who knows the meta on this map and with this strategy. So yeah, I'm just going to be going for 256 eco to get up the mortar as soon as I can. And once 42 seconds hit, I'm going to be able to go for the mortar right here. There we go. And yeah, now I'm going to be fine to like all of the AI and stuff, all of the sends that he's been sending at me, all the reds that he's been sending at me rather. Going to save that one life, because one life really matters. It really doesn't, but you know what, it's all good. And here I'm just going to be going for the mortar here instead, because it's going to be better to defend like pinks and stuff if he wants to send that at me, which he probably will, he probably should. And yeah, he's going to be sending pinks at me, alright. Here I probably just want to go for a tag shooter. It's definitely the best option against like lots of spaced sends. You could go for other Cobras, but I'd rather save some lives instead of like caring too much about farming a little bit more. Because yeah, lives are really important with Cobra based strategies to not choke. Since, you know, if the rushes get too big, you can actually send like some camo pinks, some cheeky camo pinks behind the what's it called, behind like some rush or like some AI that's tough to defend. And then if the mortar gets pierce capped and the camo pinks go through, you're forced to mortar star or die, which sometimes you just can't afford to do, and you just end up dying because of it. So that's why lives are important in Cobra versus Cobra situations especially, but even just with Cobra in general, because those kinds of cheeky rushes are always an option and you gotta be on the lookout for them. But yeah, since he's sending black semi, targeting my mortar up at the start is going to be pretty useless, because he's not going to be able to even like it's not going to be able to even like pop the black layers, because yeah, mortar just isn't suited to pop black balloons. It's one of its weaknesses, unless of course you get burny stuff and let that damage the black layer over time, but that takes a while. So that's why like it's overall pretty weak to black balloons. Here I'm just trying to go for a bit more eco, There we go. Just gonna go for 250 on, sorry, 450 on the dot. He's trying to layer, but it's not gonna go through at all since I can just like target my mortar so nothing layers at me. And yeah, now it's not gonna do anything. All those yells that he sent. I definitely want to go for a lot of cobras, a lot of cobra farms, of course, because the first to adjust has the highest chance to win, honestly, in this matchup. And yeah, I've saved a lot more lives than him because I went for the attack shooter instead of the mortar like he did. So I end up having 50 lives over him. Sorry, 41 exactly of advantage, which is actually really, really good. So here I'm just going to target my mortar at the start. And as it turns out, he has bomb, which is... I don't know how to feel about bomb. It's not good. For the very simple reason that it's just gonna die around 13. So like, I mean, he does what he wants, I guess, but you know, it's not gonna work out for you, brother. It's not. It's really not. Like, I'm just gonna showcase to you guys why bomb simply does not work in this arena. You don't have a boost. So basically what happens is I send camo lead, sorry, regen lead, and then regen rainbows, and I solo my cobras, and then I just do this, and then I just do this. And now what? Now you just die, pretty much. There's really no other option. Like, he's just dead. And this just happens. Like, it's sad. Like, it just happens. Bomb does not work. Don't use bomb in this arena, please. Use tag. Alright, GG's. Let's move on to the next game now, which is probably going to be the last game of the video as well, by the way. Wow, amp buyer. I guess Buddy buys amps. That's crazy. By the way, if you're wondering what happened in the previous game, it's simply that, oh yeah, I can show Boat Boomer Cobra actually, since this is a water map. So Boat Boomer Cobra actually has the meta and not Attack Mortar. I know this is surprising, but yeah, Attack Mortar is only for the land maps, and Boat Boomer is the meta for the water maps. So I guess if he wants to ready up here, I can showcase it. But yeah, what happened was that the bomb, like, did not pop all the regen rainbows instantly like a Maelstrom would. And because of that, the mortar actually got pierce capped among all of those, like all of those regen rainbows that I sent, and then it couldn't pop the camo pink slayer. Okay, never mind. This opponent just disconnected. I guess I'm not going to be showcasing Boatman Cobra. Let's just move on to the next game. Yeah. So here's Henny again, and yeah, as I was saying, the bomb just got pierce capped and all the camo pinks snuck through, which the bomb cannot pop. That's pretty much how he died. Get Snowfall here. Very good attack Mortal Cobra map once again. I guess I'm not going to be showcasing Boat Boomer this video, but it's really straightforward. Honestly, I don't think I even need to showcase that to you guys because I've showcased Boat Boomer in a bunch of my like non-old school videos, but you can pretty much adapt the gameplay over to old school. So Henny actually went attack from mortar in the first game, so I guess he has somewhat of an idea of what works in old school, because yeah, the attack mortar combo is like an essential here, but I guess he's not aware of like how truly dominant attack mortar cobra is as a strategy, and why it just does not lose. So yeah, we're just going to be going for 2 cobra farms as per usual, and I'm going to go for 256 eco once again as per usual. Nothing changes here. It's very scripted, honestly, because yeah, most people are gonna eco at you in this arena because they have Cobra mostly, or also they're just going eco strats, which makes a little sense, but you know, they do what they want, right? Like, farm's not actually that common in this arena for some reason, but yeah, attack mortar cobra is for sure like an eco-based strategy early game, so you're going to be facing eco a whole lot, and what you do against eco always is just 256 eco into a mortar, and as you can see, that does not leak at all, which is definitely what you want, because as I said, leaks are important. Like, you don't want to leak too low with Cobra in this arena. Of course, like being at like, I don't know, 80 lives, 70 lives or something is completely okay. Like, even 60 lives is fine, honestly, but leaking below that, I really don't agree with. So yeah, always be on the lookout for like not leaking too low. And here I'm just trying to like kind of micro my mortar so that it like doesn't push that far when I macro it here to anti-stall, of course. I don't want the blues to push too far, which is why I end up targeting at the start here. But yeah, for sure, we're just going to want to go for a tag shooter next. So I'm going to be doing exactly that in this spot right here because it's the best one on the map. And yeah, I'm going to be going for this right here. Going to send a few pinks, which then are gonna turn into a few blacks on the later rounds. There we go, gonna clutch up on some of these lives. And here I'm just gonna like clutch up again and then save up after sending this last black, and then I'm gonna go for the blade shooter, and I'm gonna be anti-stalling like without needing to micro motor or anything of that sort. I'm just gonna save up round 7 to send a bunch of greens at him, which is gonna cause a lot of damage. Because yeah, sub does struggle to greens, especially on the 7th round. I don't know why I sent the 7th round instead of round 7, but I guess it sounds cooler. Bro is just gonna like live through death on the 7th round. Isn't that crazy? Okay, yes, sub bomb. Probably the third one is chipper or something like that. I don't exactly know. But yeah, those kinds of strategies to counter Cobra like just don't work in this arena simply because you don't have boosts, and they're very, very reliant on boosts, which Tac Motor Duo is not, and that's why it works so well. He's trying to layer again, which I'm just not gonna let happen. I'm just gonna like target my mortar so that doesn't happen simply. There we go, and yeah, he cannot layer on me whatsoever because I just target my mortar properly and it just doesn't work. So yeah, he's trying to like sneak some reds behind some blues, behind some greens, behind some yellows, because like those ramp up in speed and he's trying to send them into some kind of balloon burger like behind, which I'm just not letting that happen because I mean, yeah, he did send some greens behind some yellows successfully. That's really all he managed to do. And he's trying to send pinks, which is pretty stupid. You should not be going all that hard with an eco-based strategy, especially when you're up against Tac Motor Cobra. So yeah, not the smartest move by him, but he definitely does what he wants, I guess. I'm just gonna spam like some region leads, try to get through his bomb, but it's not working out all that well. It's okay though. He prepared the camo detection here, and honestly, if he can afford a reactor, I guess I'll leave him alone. Else he's just dead to an ally on round 13. So I'm just gonna be like sending a few zeros, trying to like test it out, see if he can afford. He can. Do I want to rush this? No, he has an airburst dots. I don't want to rush this at all. I don't know why I sold some Cobras. That was a big waste of money. It wasted like $400. Oh well, it's fine. Here he just sent some zebras. We should be okay to this. We shouldn't leak at all, or like barely at least. So that's fine. He didn't send enough to force anything up on me, except the like little extra tag shooter. So it's okay. This Cobra cannot target both sides. It's fine. I'm just gonna like do this and this, and there we go. That's my next Cobra spots. Next thing I want to do, probably offensive push BFB. I don't exactly know yet. He's sending a whole lot of region leads and stuff. You know what? I'm just gonna do this. Not gonna worry too much here. I'm just gonna Maelstrom, and yeah, specifically because he sent the regions. Else I would not have thought of it. But yeah, he's sending more. I'm just like trying to mortar micro this so it doesn't like go through it all. There we go. This did not have a ceramic in it. He probably wanted me to think that, but it's not going to work. I wonder what his third tower is, honestly. He has not revealed that to me yet, so I'm going to try to send a BFB to test him out, since, yeah, that's mostly what it's going to be all about. It's going to be about his third tower, see what he has. Could be ninja, could be something like that, I don't know. It's probably something cheeky though. And yeah, I'm just going to be doing this and adjusting on top. There we go. And this should probably get through. I'm not too certain on it, but I hope it does. And here I'm just going to send a bit of leads into a bit of blacks to like try to get his bombs to target something else than the BFB. So far it's working out because he has not targeted his Molars too strong, which really messes him up. So that's good for me for sure. He does have the sub and bomb duo though. And yeah, he does have chipper. Okay, he does. So this is probably the hardest Cobra counter you can do with sub bomb, but it probably just does not win here. I don't think he even defends. Yeah, he doesn't. He's trying to super that. He's trying to use the chipper ability to defend. It's only a temporary option, bro. You're only stalling out the inevitable. Like, look at all this mess just going through his defense, and that's GG. So yeah, GG's to Henny420. That was the last game of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, you have 2 buttons that you can press that would help me out tremendously to get this video out to more people and the whole channel out, as a matter of fact, which is pressing like and subscribe. People say that to you every time, you know, but like it just helps out so much, and it's just 2 presses of a button. Like if you really enjoyed this video, it doesn't take a lot of effort, please consider it. We're also super close to 2,000 subs, which I want to try to get before the end of this year, and would make me super happy if you guys could do that for me. So yeah, please consider subscribing. And of course, if you want to put in a bit more effort, you can also type a comment down below in the comment section. That also helps reaching my video to more, getting my video out to more people in general. I guess if you want to support me financially, you have channel memberships, so that's only if you can afford it. So yeah, that's gonna be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, you know what to do, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. Have a good one, buddy. Bye bye.